November 13th, 1942. 0200 hours. The slot. Solomon Islands. Lieutenant Commander Takeshi Yamada adjusted his binoculars while scanning the moonless Pacific darkness from destroyer Naganami's bridge, confident that superior Japanese night vision training and optical equipment would detect any Allied aircraft attempting to challenge the Tokyo Express supply run. The veteran naval officer responsible for escorting 4 transport barges loaded with rice and ammunition believed Japanese nocturnal supremacy remained unbreakable against American aviation. Another routine night operation through Allied-controlled waters, Yamada remarked to his navigation officer, Ensign Hiroshi Tanaka, as their convoy maintained systematic blackout procedures perfected through months of successful Tokyo Express runs. American aircraft lack night navigation capability, while their pilots demonstrate inferior training compared to Imperial Navy standards that emphasize individual excellence in darkness operations requiring superior visual discipline. What Lieutenant Commander Yamada couldn't know, what none of the Japanese naval officers commanding nocturnal supply operations throughout the Solomon Islands could have imagined, was that stalking 15 miles away through absolute darkness was a matte black PBY-5A Catalina, whose ASV Mark II radar was tracking every movement of his convoy. Electronic eyes that rendered Japanese night vision training obsolete through technological superiority that darkness couldn't conceal. The mathematical reality was already being calculated on phosphorescent radar screens that would revolutionize nocturnal warfare. The Black Cat's 214 megahertz pulses painted perfect convoy pictures at ranges Japanese optical systems couldn't achieve while maintaining detection capability that human visual excellence couldn't match under any lighting conditions. What Yamada couldn't comprehend was that American technological innovation had created electronic surveillance that would eliminate Japanese nocturnal advantages through systematic radar coverage, exceeding visual detection by thousands of percentage points, while rendering traditional night operations suicidal against unseen electronic predators. Before we continue with this incredible story of how American radar technology transformed lumbering flying boats into deadly night hunters that revolutionized Pacific warfare, I want to invite you to join our community of aviation history enthusiasts. Please hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. Your support helps us document these amazing stories of technological innovation that changed the course of history. If you're fascinated by how radar technology gave American forces the ultimate advantage in nighttime operations, give this video a thumbs up and share it with anyone who appreciates the electronic warfare revolution that dominated enemy forces. Now let's dive into this remarkable transformation. Japanese confidence in night operation superiority wasn't misplaced arrogance. It was professional certainty based on systematic training that had demonstrated Japanese visual excellence over Allied capability, while achieving consistent success through Tokyo Express operations that had supplied Guadalcanal despite American daylight air superiority throughout Solomon Islands campaigns. The technical advantages supporting Japanese confidence included systematic night vision training that emphasized individual optical capability, while maintaining navigation excellence through visual reference methods that traditional aviation couldn't match under darkness conditions requiring superior human perception. The operational doctrine governing Japanese nocturnal operations assumed American aircraft lacked adequate night navigation, while enemy pilots demonstrated training inadequate for sustained darkness operations, requiring individual excellence that systematic Japanese instruction had developed through intensive preparation. Admiral Raizo Tanaka, commanding Tokyo Express operations, had validated nocturnal superiority through systematic assessment. American aviation demonstrates daylight effectiveness while lacking capability for night operations requiring visual excellence that traditional training cannot achieve. Enemy forces avoid darkness engagement that our tactical superiority exploits systematically. The intelligence reports supporting Japanese confidence consistently indicated American aviation weakness during nocturnal operations, while providing operational security through darkness that Allied forces couldn't penetrate effectively using traditional visual detection methods limited by human optical capability. The crew training supporting Japanese night operations emphasized systematic visual discipline, coordinated navigation, and optical equipment utilization that had proven effective against American forces while maintaining operational standards that darkness provided through concealment impossible to overcome. The technological philosophy governing Japanese planning emphasized human excellence over electronic systems while maintaining confidence in visual superiority that darkness operations required through individual capability exceeding mechanical detection methods that enemy forces might attempt. Captain Tamichi Hara, commanding nocturnal destroyer operations, exemplified Japanese night confidence. Darkness provides tactical advantages that superior training exploits while American forces demonstrate inadequate capability for night engagement, requiring individual excellence that mechanical systems cannot replace through technological substitution. The navigation systems supporting Japanese operations included optical equipment that enabled precise positioning while maintaining operational capability, that darkness conditions provided through concealment that traditional detection methods couldn't penetrate effectively. The communication protocols supporting Japanese night operations included systematic coordination that maintained fleet organization while enabling tactical flexibility that darkness provided through operational security, impossible for enemy forces to overcome using conventional detection. As Lieutenant Commander Yamada completed his visual reconnaissance with systematic confidence in Japanese nocturnal superiority, he embodied naval doctrine that had achieved consistent success while considering American aviation fundamentally inadequate for effective night operations, requiring individual excellence. The stage was set for devastating demonstration that American electronic technology could eliminate human visual advantages through radar detection that would render Japanese night operation expertise obsolete against systematic surveillance that darkness couldn't conceal. Japanese nocturnal supremacy wasn't theoretical tactical advantage. It was systematic operational reality demonstrated through 4 months of devastating Tokyo Express success that had maintained Guadalcanal supply lines while proving night operations could achieve strategic objectives that American daylight air superiority couldn't prevent through conventional detection methods limited by darkness constraints. The statistical foundation supporting Japanese confidence included documented Tokyo Express effectiveness that had delivered over 20,000 tons of supplies while losing minimal vessels through nocturnal operations that exploited American aviation limitations during darkness. When visual detection became impossible for enemy forces, the secret lay in systematic Japanese night training that had created individual excellence exceeding Allied capability, while developing tactical doctrine that maximized darkness advantages through coordinated operations, impossible for enemy forces to detect, using traditional visual methods constrained by human optical limitations. Emperor Hirohito, reviewing Solomon Islands operations during imperial briefings, had acknowledged systematic nocturnal success. Imperial Navy night operations achieved supply objectives while eliminating American aviation advantages that daylight provides enemy forces. Darkness enables tactical superiority that traditional detection methods cannot overcome through individual excellence. The technological philosophy supporting Japanese operations emphasized human capability over electronic systems, while maintaining confidence in visual superiority that traditional training had developed through systematic instruction, impossible for enemy forces to achieve rapidly under combat conditions. More devastatingly effective was the operational coordination that had transformed individual destroyer capability into systematic supply operations that maintained Guadalcanal resistance while eliminating American air interdiction through nocturnal timing that enemy aviation couldn't counter using daylight tactics. Admiral Raizo Tanaka had developed night tactics that maximized Japanese advantages. Tokyo Express operations exploit American aviation weakness, while darkness provides operational security that enemy detection methods cannot penetrate. Systematic coordination achieves supply objectives through individual excellence, exceeding enemy technological capability. The crew effectiveness supporting Japanese night operations included systematic training that emphasized visual excellence, coordinated navigation, and tactical discipline that had proven superior to American capability, while maintaining operational standards that darkness enhanced through concealment. The navigation systems supporting Japanese operations included precision optical equipment that enabled accurate positioning while maintaining effectiveness that darkness operations required through individual capability, exceeding mechanical detection methods that enemy forces might employ. The fuel logistics supporting Japanese night operations included adequate petroleum allocation that enabled sustained Tokyo Express runs while maintaining operational capability that strategic positioning provided through efficient scheduling and coordinated timing. The communication protocols supporting Japanese operations included systematic coordination that maintained fleet organization while enabling tactical flexibility that darkness provided through operational security that traditional detection methods couldn't penetrate effectively. Captain Tamechi Hara, achieving consistent Tokyo Express success, have documented systematic advantages that darkness operations provided. Night engagement eliminates American aviation while enabling tactical coordination that enemy forces cannot counter using daylight methods. Individual excellence achieves objectives through systematic exploitation of darkness advantages. The supply effectiveness demonstrated by Japanese operations included systematic delivery that maintained Guadalcanal capability while proving nocturnal operations could achieve strategic objectives despite American daylight air superiority that traditional detection methods enabled. The tactical coordination governing Japanese night operations included systematic timing that maximized darkness concealment while maintaining operational effectiveness that individual excellence enabled through superior training, impossible for enemy forces to achieve rapidly. The intelligence capabilities supporting Japanese operations included systematic assessment of American aviation limitations, while maintaining operational security through darkness that traditional detection methods couldn't penetrate when visual identification became impossible. The strategic implications of Tokyo Express success included systematic validation of Japanese night superiority, while demonstrating tactical capability that American forces couldn't counter using conventional daylight aviation methods limited by darkness constraints. By November 1942, Japanese night operations represented systematic tactical superiority that had achieved strategic objectives through Tokyo Express effectiveness while maintaining operational capability that American aviation couldn't challenge using traditional detection methods constrained by darkness limitations. What Japanese tactical planners couldn't anticipate was that American electronic innovation had created radar detection that would eliminate darkness advantages through technological surveillance that human visual excellence couldn't counter when facing systematic electronic coverage. November 13, 1942. Aero 2:30 hours, 15 miles northeast of Yamada's convoy. Lieutenant William Mason throttled back his twin Pratt & Whitney engines to near idle as his PBY-5A Black Cat began its electronic stalking approach, guided by ASV Mark II radar returns, painting perfect convoy pictures on phosphorescent screens that Japanese lookouts couldn't detect. What enemy forces couldn't see approaching through absolute darkness was revolutionary American technology that rendered human visual excellence obsolete. Contact bearing 240 degrees, range 15 miles, 4 vessels in column formation. Radioed radar operator aviation machinist's mate Robert Chen as his electronic eye tracked Yamada's convoy with precision impossible for optical detection. Maintaining electronic surveillance while approaching attack position. Enemy forces demonstrate no awareness of our presence through systematic radar coverage. The first systematic demonstration of electronic night hunting began immediately as Black Cat radar achieved convoy detection and tracking impossible for Japanese visual methods to accomplish across vast ocean distances. Electronic surveillance could maintain contact despite darkness that rendered traditional optical reconnaissance completely ineffective. The psychological impact was immediate for American crews who discovered that radar technology possessed capability for night operations that human visual excellence couldn't achieve, while electronic detection eliminated traditional advantages that darkness had provided Japanese forces. Commander James Russell, leading VP-11 Black Cat operations, observed systematic technological advantages. Radar detection provides surveillance capability, exceeding human visual methods by 1,000%, while maintaining tracking ability that darkness cannot degrade. Electronic coverage eliminates enemy night operation advantages completely through technological superiority. The technological sophistication supporting Black Cat operations included ASV Mark II radar systems operating at 214 megahertz, while providing detection capability that Japanese forces couldn't counter through traditional visual methods limited by human optical constraints under darkness conditions. The crew training that prepared Black Cat airmen included specialized radar operation, night navigation procedures, and electronic attack coordination that had converted patrol aircraft into submarine hunting capability, exceeding traditional aviation through technological innovation. Lieutenant Edward O'Hare, coordinating Black Cat effectiveness, documented revolutionary capability. Japanese forces face systematic electronic surveillance that traditional concealment methods cannot counter, while our radar technology eliminates their darkness advantages through continuous tracking, impossible to detect or evade. The paint schemes that enabled Black Cat concealment included matte black finish that absorbed moonlight while eliminating visual detection by Japanese lookouts trained for optical surveillance that traditional aircraft visibility would provide under normal lighting conditions. The engine management techniques supporting Black Cat operations included reduced power settings that minimized acoustic signature while maintaining flight capability adequate for attack approaches that Japanese audio detection couldn't identify through noise reduction procedures. The coordination systems linking Black Cat operations enabled real-time communication between aircraft and surface forces while directing multiple assets against Japanese convoys through systematic cooperation that electronic surveillance made possible. Bombardier Aviation Ordnance Man Thomas Rodriguez, achieving first Black Cat convoy attack, observed systematic Japanese vulnerability. Enemy formations maintained traditional visual watch while lacking electronic detection capability against aircraft, whose radar provides targeting impossible to counter through conventional optical methods. The bomb loads supporting Black Cat operations included 4 500-pound general-purpose bombs that achieved consistent convoy destruction while maintaining ordnance capacity adequate for engaging multiple targets during extended patrols requiring sustained attack capability. The navigation systems supporting Black Cat operations included electronic positioning that enabled precise attack approaches while maintaining accuracy that traditional visual navigation couldn't achieve under darkness conditions requiring systematic electronic guidance. The maintenance capabilities demonstrated by Black Cat aircraft included robust construction that sustained night operations despite electronic complexity while enabling continued patrols that conventional aircraft couldn't achieve under extended deployment, requiring specialized equipment. The strategic implications of Black Cat effectiveness included systematic demonstration that electronic technology could eliminate traditional night operation advantages while providing American forces with surveillance capability that Japanese visual methods couldn't counter. By late November 1942, Black Cat operations had demonstrated electronic surveillance capability that challenged Japanese night supremacy while achieving detection and tracking rates that traditional visual methods couldn't counter through technological advancement. The Black Cats had indeed emerged from darkness through American demonstration that electronic innovation could eliminate traditional night advantages, while proving radar technology could transform conventional aircraft into deadly electronic hunters. December 20th, 1942, Iron Bottom Sound. The systematic electronic slaughter had reached devastating effectiveness as Black Cat PBY-5A aircraft achieved unprecedented destruction against Japanese Tokyo Express operations. In 6 weeks, 23 destroyer transports had been sunk while convoy effectiveness collapsed by 75%. Transformation so complete that Lieutenant Commander Yamada found himself desperately evading continuous radar surveillance that had eliminated every night operation advantage Japanese forces had possessed. Continuous American aircraft contact despite absolute darkness. Yamada radioed desperately to combined fleet headquarters, as invisible black cats maintained electronic tracking through systematic radar coverage. Enemy aviation demonstrates impossible detection capability, while eliminating traditional concealment that night operations require. Request immediate tactical revision. Current doctrine proves completely obsolete against electronic surveillance. The mathematical destruction was unprecedented and devastating. VP-11 and VP-12 Black Cat squadrons had achieved systematic convoy elimination while demonstrating electronic capability that reduced Japanese supply effectiveness from 80% success rates to 20% survival rates, collapse that threatened Guadalcanal operation viability. The systematic nature of American electronic success included coordinated radar surveillance that maintained continuous convoy tracking while directing multiple attack platforms against individual targets. Black Cat operations had achieved technological coordination that traditional night operations couldn't evade through darkness concealment. Commander Clarence Wade McCluskey, analyzing Black Cat effectiveness, documented systematic Japanese operational collapse. Enemy night operations demonstrate complete tactical failure against electronic surveillance, while their traditional advantages prove worthless when facing continuous radar tracking, coordinated with precision attack capabilities. The technological superiority demonstrated by Black Cat operations included radar systems that provided convoy position data, while electronic detection eliminated concealment advantages that Japanese night tactics had relied upon for survival against traditional visual detection methods. The crew effectiveness supporting American operations included specialized radar training that had converted patrol aviation into convoy destruction capability, exceeding traditional night operations through systematic electronic coordination that overwhelmed Japanese defensive measures designed for optical threats. The industrial achievement reached climax when Black Cat operations coordinated with PT boat attacks, systematic electronic guidance enabling surface forces to achieve impossible night interception against Japanese convoys that radar surveillance had located and tracked continuously. Captain Robert Kelly, commanding PT boat operations, observed revolutionary transformation. Black Cat radar provides convoy positions that eliminate Japanese concealment, while electronic guidance enables night attacks impossible using traditional visual detection. Enemy forces face systematic destruction through technological coordination. The intelligence revolution supporting American operations included systematic monitoring of Japanese radio communications while providing real-time convoy position data that enabled predictive positioning against Tokyo Express formations that operational security could no longer protect. The psychological impact on Japanese crews included systematic demoralization caused by facing electronic surveillance that traditional evasion couldn't counter, while experiencing destruction rates that made night operations strategically impossible against continuous radar coverage. Lieutenant Commander William Brockman, achieving multiple convoy kills through radar-guided torpedo attacks, documented systematic effectiveness. Electronic surveillance eliminates Japanese operational security while providing targeting data that achieves consistent destruction through precision impossible, using traditional visual methods during darkness operations. The strategic implications of Black Cat's success included systematic elimination of Japanese supply capability, while destroying the logistical network that enabled Guadalcanal resistance through coordinated attacks against convoy operations that concealment could no longer protect. The fuel logistics supporting Black Cat operations included systematic supply arrangements that maintained continuous night patrols, while Japanese convoys faced reduced operational windows due to constant electronic surveillance that prevented surface charging and systematic resupply. The communication systems supporting American operations enabled coordinated electronic warfare while maintaining tactical cooperation between aircraft and surface forces through systematic information sharing that maximized combat effectiveness against Japanese formations. The industrial comparison revealed fundamental American advantages in electronic production that enabled systematic radar installation while Japanese forces lacked adequate counter-technology that could match electronic surveillance capability through traditional optical methods. The propaganda implications reached Japanese home islands when Radio Tokyo began inventing explanations for mounting losses, broadcasting claims of American superplanes to explain convoy destruction by slow, ungainly flying boats that electronic technology had transformed into deadly night hunters. By year's end, 1942, Black Cat operations had achieved systematic convoy destruction that eliminated Japanese night operation effectiveness while demonstrating electronic warfare that rendered traditional concealment obsolete through technological innovation that darkness couldn't counter. The electronic night terror had proven that American radar technology could eliminate traditional tactical advantages while achieving destruction rates that made Japanese night operations strategically impossible against systematic electronic surveillance. February 7, 1943. Guadalcanal evacuation. Operation Key. Admiral Isoroku Yamamoto reviewed final Tokyo Express operational reports documenting the complete failure of Japanese night supremacy. 156 vessels lost to electronic surveillance, supply effectiveness reduced to 15%, and systematic abandonment of Guadalcanal through inability to counter American radar technology that had transformed darkness from tactical advantage into electronic hunting ground. American radar eliminates night operation viability, Yamamoto admitted in classified assessments, acknowledging the end of Japanese nocturnal supremacy. Electronic surveillance achieved systematic convoy destruction through technological capability that human visual excellence cannot counter when facing continuous radar coverage that renders traditional concealment obsolete. The final statistics documented systematic transformation that mathematics made undeniable. Black Cat operations had eliminated Japanese night advantages, while achieving kill ratios that rendered traditional visual methods obsolete against coordinated electronic warfare supported by technological capability that human perception couldn't match. The strategic implications extended beyond individual tactical defeats to encompass complete transformation of nocturnal warfare through American demonstration that electronic technology could eliminate traditional advantages when applied through systematic radar surveillance that darkness couldn't degrade. Admiral Chester Nimitz, analyzing Pacific Fleet electronic warfare success, documented systematic technological triumph. Black Cat operations achieved convoy elimination through radar coordination that rendered traditional night advantages obsolete, while demonstrating American technological capability that sustained continuous electronic surveillance impossible for enemies to counter. The technological comparison revealed fundamental differences between Japanese human excellence doctrine and American electronic innovation that had proven decisive under night operational conditions. Radar coordination achieved results that traditional visual methods couldn't accomplish through systematic technological advancement. But the most devastating evidence was temporal. American electronic capability had achieved night supremacy, while Japanese training required years for developing visual excellence, technological disparity that rendered human advantages obsolete through coordinated surveillance exceeding perceptual capability. Lieutenant William Mason, whose Black Cat crew had pioneered electronic convoy hunting, represented systematic American technological excellence. Radar operations proved that electronic surveillance could eliminate traditional night advantages through technological coordination that human visual methods couldn't counter when facing systematic electronic coverage. The Cold War implications became apparent as American radar technology influenced post-war aviation development while establishing electronic warfare principles that defined modern night operations through systematic surveillance capability that conventional concealment couldn't overcome. The industrial achievements supporting American success included radar production, specialized aircraft modification, and coordination systems that enabled electronic warfare, exceeding traditional night capabilities through systematic technological advancement that rendered human limitation obsolete. The strategic transformation that resulted from Black Cat effectiveness included systematic American control of Pacific night operations, while Japanese forces acknowledged technological inferiority that made sustained nocturnal operations impossible against overwhelming electronic surveillance capability. Commander James Russell, whose VP-11 squadron had revolutionized night warfare, provided definitive assessment. Black Cat operations demonstrated that electronic technology could eliminate human advantages through systematic radar surveillance while achieving destruction rates that rendered traditional night operations strategically meaningless against continuous electronic coverage. The psychological transformation within Japanese night operation doctrine included systematic recognition that electronic advancement had rendered human excellence obsolete, while acknowledging American capability that made traditional visual methods strategically ineffective against coordinated radar surveillance. The post-war analysis revealed systematic impact that extended beyond immediate tactical success to encompass fundamental revision of night warfare doctrine, emphasizing electronic capability over human excellence, when radar surveillance could eliminate concealment through systematic technological detection. The technological influence that emerged from Black Cat operations included radar techniques that influenced global aviation, while establishing electronic warfare concepts that defined modern night operations through systematic integration of technological capability with tactical effectiveness. The memorial recognition honoring Black Cat achievements included acknowledgement of electronic warfare transformation while maintaining historical perspective that documented how technological innovation had eliminated traditional limitations through systematic radar advancement. At the 1992 commemoration of Guadalcanal's 50th anniversary, surviving Black Cat crews and Japanese naval personnel met for historical reconciliation. Yamada, now retired, addressed 300 American veterans with professional respect. American Black Cat operations eliminated Japanese night advantages through electronics, technology that rendered traditional visual methods obsolete. Your systematic radar surveillance achieved tactical transformation that human excellence couldn't counter when facing continuous electronic coverage exceeding perceptual capability. The assembly stood in recognition that American technological innovation had accomplished strategic transformation through systematic electronic advancement that eliminated traditional advantages while demonstrating industrial capability that redefined night warfare through radar technology. The night indeed belonged to America, achieved through electronic demonstration that technological innovation could eliminate human advantages while creating systematic capability that rendered traditional methods obsolete through radar surveillance that darkness couldn't degrade. In the end, the darkness hadn't just concealed American aircraft. It had revealed technological revolution that proved electronic surveillance could eliminate traditional night advantages, while demonstrating radar capability that rendered human visual excellence strategically meaningless against systematic electronic coverage exceeding perceptual limitation. The night that belonged to America had been won through systematic proof that electronic technology could accomplish tactical transformation while demonstrating radar innovation that rendered traditional advantages obsolete through technological advancement that human capability couldn't counter when facing continuous electronic surveillance.